What is reality? Have you ever stopped to think about it? If you're anything like me, you probably just assume that reality is everything you experience around you, right? The feel of the sun on your skin, the taste of a ripe strawberry, the sound of your loved one's laughter, even the pain of heartbreak. These experiences make up your reality. However, what if I told you that everything you think you know about reality might be wrong? You see, there's a lot more to this three-dimensional world that we live in than meets the eye. So, in today's video, I'm going to tell you 10 shocking facts about reality that you absolutely must know. And trust me, by the end of this video, you will never look at the world the same way again. Number 1, our senses deceive us. As humans, we rely on our 5 senses to experience the world around us. However, our senses are not perfect and can often be tricked. Consider a mirage, for example. When you're in the middle of a hot desert, you may see a shimmering oasis in the distance, but as you get closer, it disappears. What you saw was an optical illusion caused by the heat waves bending the light. This shows that what we think we see is not always what we get. In fact, everything we perceive through our senses is filtered through our brains, which interpret the information and create a model of the world for us. This means that everyone experiences reality differently based on their individual senses and brain functions. So remember, what you think you see, hear, smell, taste, or touch may not be exactly as it is. Our senses can play tricks on us, and reality is more complex than what meets the eye. Number 2, free will is an illusion. Have you ever wondered if you really have free will, or if everything is predetermined? According to some, every action we take is the result of a series of prior causes that began with the Big Bang. Even our thoughts and feelings are nothing more than physical processes in our brains. If this is true, then the idea of free will is just an illusion, and every choice we make is simply the inevitable outcome of a chain of events that we cannot control. This can be a difficult concept to grapple with, but it's important to remember that even if we don't have free will, we still have the ability to make choices and shape our lives. It's up to us to decide how we respond to the circumstances we find ourselves in. So while the idea of free will may be appealing, it's important to be aware of the limitations of our control over our actions and instead focus on what we can influence. 3, time is a social construct. Ever wondered why we divide our day into 24 hours, a week into 7 days, and a year into 12 months? Well, it turns out that these divisions are not based on any natural phenomenon, but rather on human convention. For example, there is no natural phenomenon that dictates that we should have 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week, or 12 months in a year. These are all arbitrary divisions that have been agreed upon by society. Similarly, the way we perceive time is also influenced by social factors. For example, when we were young, time seemed to pass much more slowly than it does now. This is because we compare the passage of time to our own life experience. When we're young, a day at school seems to last forever, but as we get older and have more responsibilities, time seems to slip away faster than ever. So remember, time is not just a tick-tock on the clock. It's a social construct that's shaped by our experiences and responsibilities. Number 4, nothing is real. Have you ever heard the saying, "Nothing is true"? At first, this may seem like a bold statement, but upon reflection, it reveals a profound truth about the nature of reality. You see, what we perceive as real is nothing more than a collection of sensory data that our brains interpret. This means that our entire understanding of the world is based on our own perceptions and interpretations, which are inherently subjective. Consider, for example, the color blue. We perceive blue as a distinct color, but this is nothing more than a convention that we've agreed upon as a society. There's no inherent property of the color blue that makes it different from any other color. It's all in how we perceive it. This applies to everything we experience, from the taste of food to the smell of flowers to the sound of music. All of these are simply interpretations of sensory data that are unique to each individual. So remember, nothing is truly real. It's all a matter of perception and interpretation. And what we believe to be true is often nothing more than a social construct. Number 5, everything is interconnected. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to feel disconnected from the world around us. We get caught up in our own lives and the things that directly affect us. But the truth is that everything in the universe is interconnected in ways that we are just beginning to understand. Consider the butterfly effect, for example. This is the idea that a small change in one part of the system can have large and often unpredictable consequences elsewhere. Even the smallest of actions can have ripple effects that touch every corner of the universe. It's a reminder that we are all connected, and that our actions, no matter how small, can have a profound impact on the world around us. So take a moment to appreciate the interconnectedness of all things, and the ripple effect that your actions can have on the world around you. Remember, everything is interconnected and we are all part of a greater whole. Number 6, the present is all that matters. One of the most difficult things about being human is the fact that we have the ability to think about the future and dwell on the past. These abilities set us apart from other animals and have allowed us to plan ahead and learn from our mistakes. However, they can also be a source of great pain and suffering. Dwelling on the past can cause us to feel regret, guilt, or shame, while worrying about the future can lead to anxiety and fear. But the truth is that the only moment that we can truly experience is the present. The past is gone, and the future hasn't happened yet. Both are outside of our control. Instead of wasting our precious time and energy on things that we cannot change, we should focus on the present moment. This doesn't mean that we shouldn't learn from the past or plan for the future. It simply means that we should make a conscious effort to savor and appreciate the present moment. After all, it's the only moment that we truly have. Number 7, our thoughts create our reality. We often think of ourselves as passive observers of reality, simply reacting to the events that unfold around us. However, the truth is that our thoughts and beliefs shape our reality in profound ways. Our thoughts determine how we perceive the world around us and how we interact with others. They also influence our emotions, behaviors, and ultimately, our destiny. Consider, for example, the placebo effect. When we believe that something is true, our bodies often respond accordingly. This shows that our minds have a powerful influence over our physical reality. By harnessing the power of our thoughts, we can create positive outcomes in our lives. This doesn't mean that we should ignore reality or refuse to acknowledge negative thoughts. Rather, it means that we should focus on cultivating a positive mindset and using it to shape our reality in a constructive way. Remember, our thoughts create our reality, so let's use that power wisely and consciously. Create the life we want by focusing on the positive and embracing the power of our minds. 8. Multiverse exists. The idea of a multiverse may seem like a far-fetched concept, but it's actually a serious area of research in cosmology. Scientists have proposed several theories to explain the existence of multiple universes, and there's evidence to support some of these theories. For example, the theory of eternal inflation suggests that our universe is just one of many that are constantly popping into existence. Each universe has its own laws of physics and its own set of constants, meaning that there could be an infinite number of universes with different realities. While we may never be able to prove the existence of a multiverse, the idea is fascinating and thought-provoking. It challenges us to think beyond our own universe and consider the possibility of other worlds and realities out there. 9. Nothing lasts forever. The truth is that nothing in this world is permanent. Everything is subject to change, whether it's our relationships, our possessions, or even our lives. The only constant in life is change itself. This can be a difficult truth to accept, especially when we're clinging to something that we value dearly. But it's important to remember that nothing lasts forever. This also applies to negative things in life, such as pain, suffering, and sorrow. No matter how difficult a situation may be, it will not last forever. With resilience and perseverance, we can overcome any obstacle and find better days ahead. So whenever you're facing a challenging situation, take a deep breath and remind yourself that it's just a moment in time and it will pass. Focus on finding the beauty and joy in the present moment and trust that brighter days are ahead. Number 10. Matter is not real. This may seem like a strange statement, but it's actually a fundamental principle in quantum mechanics. According to this theory, everything in the universe is made up of tiny particles that are constantly in motion. These particles are so small that they exhibit wave-like properties and are impossible to observe without altering their behavior. This means that the idea of solid objects is just an illusion. When we touch something, we are really experiencing the interaction between our atoms and the atoms of the object. But at a deeper level, everything is interconnected and constantly changing. So remember, matter is not real. It's just a collection of particles that are in a constant state of flux. And we are all connected at a deeper level than we can perceive. And that's a wrap on the 10 shocking facts about reality. I hope you found this video informative and thought-provoking. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for more videos like this. Thank you for watching.